ne. Ano. Ano. Je, Tyrion. Trpaslík. Skřet. Jakkoliv ho chcete nazvat. A tady máme jeho super otravnou matku. Je to ona? Těžko říct z téhleté dálky. Je to ona, je to ona!
Ah, Lady Marjorie. Aren't you looking lovely this evening?
Lord Tyrion, Your Grace? With your permission, allow me to introduce Lady Mira of House Forrester.
Skloň house, tak můžeme mě pokleknout. Pokleknem.
Your Grace. The girl knows her courtesies. Impressive. You may rise.
House Forrester is a northern house loyal to the king.
Are they?
I beg your pardon, Your Grace.
I wasn't talking to you. I want to hear from the girl. Is your family loyal to the king?
Perhaps you should ask the new Lord Forrester.
Jedinému pravému kraji naší věnost je neochvějná, sloužíme králi Joffrimu.
The girl can speak for her house.
House Forrester's loyalty to the crown never wavers, Your Grace.
I see.
Šlo mi to jako všechny. Odpovědi jsou správny.
For centuries the Forresters have been loyal bannermen to House Stark. A house of traitors.
Musíme myslet jedno a mluvit další, takže...
Yes, Your Grace. They are traitors.
The Starks were your liege lord, yet you name them traitors so easily.
Clearly her loyalty
Neuspokojila?
quite a lot.
O co jde? Já se tady snažím.
Is your house willing to swear fealty to your new liege lord, Roose Bolton?
Boltonovi? No to jsem si nejsem úplně jistý.
Yes, Your Grace. Absolutely.
I see. Despite the fact Roose Bolton allied with Walder Frey. If it was me, I'd find it difficult to so quickly forgive the men who killed my father. Old allegiances are not easily abandoned. But now that the war is over, we must look to rebuild and forge new alliances. There are ships and shields to be built, and Joffrey will need a steady supply of ironwood for his armies. I'm told there are others who
takže jsme docela dobří spojenci teďka. Teď se to hodí, co? K našemu vzájemnému prospěchu, jasně.
And at the pleasure of your king. It would be a shame to see it fall into the hands of another house. I imagine you'd do almost anything to prevent that from happening, wouldn't you? Ask any Lannister, and they'd do whatever was necessary to save Casterly Rock. It would be unfortunate to see another house lay claim to what's yours.
Yes, Your Grace. I would do anything.
A teď po mně bude něco šílenýho. Jak se usmála, to se mi nelíbí. To se mi vůbec nelíbí.
What would you have the girl do, Cersei? It's not as if she fought beside the Starks, wielding a battle axe for the Northern Army.
It raises an interesting question, I suppose. Can we truly blame those who end up on the wrong side of the war? Our dear Marjorie here was betrothed to Renly Baratheon on the false assumption that he would one day rule the Seven Kingdoms. Can we fault her for her mistake? Should she be held accountable?
Následovala, nemohu jí soudit. Já nevím.
I'm sure she regrets it.
Perhaps not.
If there's a point to this, I hope you find it quickly.
Loyalty can be such a hard thing to define. This city alone is filled with all sorts of ambitious opportunists looking to reinvent themselves, pretending to be something they're not.
To je pravda.
What lurks within their hearts. You are a girl from the north here in service to Lady Marjorie. One can only assume her interests are yours. Yet loyalty to a king, that must be absolute, beyond question. And if your loyalties were to become conflicted between your king and the very person whom you serve, what would you do then?
I'm sure she would...
Let the girl answer the
Tomu
question.
nedojde, byla bych herná králi, jsem jedna. Musím říct králi, aby tady uspokojil Cersei.
Well said.
Co?
I was beginning to worry you didn't have your priorities straight.
She is a threat to the crown, isn't she? The most dangerous handmaiden in all of King's Landing.
My sense is this girl will say almost anything to get what she wants. Which is not very
Sakra.
encouraging. I'd like a word with you, if I may.
Of course, Your Grace.
Vypadá to, že to prokoukla. Tyrion se mě měl zachránit, no ale asi bohužel.
I'll walk you out. This may come as a surprise, but I met your father once, at the tourney at Lannisport. Even then he didn't trust Roose Bolton. We only spoke briefly, but your father struck me as an honorable man. You have my condolences for his loss. These would be trying times for your family, even under the
Řekneme
best of
tomu, proč ne? Řekneme tomu.
These are trying times, my lord. My family fears what might happen now that the Boltons rule the North.
They must still answer to the crown. You shouldn't forget that, nor should they. That certainly took courage. To so publicly declare your loyalty to Joffrey for all to hear. Poor Lady Marjorie was humiliated, although Cersei seemed quite pleased. It was quite the first impression. I, of course, found it all
Nemám se zvěrát, udělal jsem to kvůli lady. Nic, sakra.
No doubt Lady Marjorie will forgive you. Eventually. My sister and I have our differences. She takes great pleasure in her little charades. I take mine in thwarting them. We must find our amusements where we can. She threatened to give your ironwood to another house. It is the Master of Coin who decides such matters. The crown needs boats. Boats need wood, and I speak for the crown in this regard. Not her.
No,
You
super.
can help my family.
I suppose the crown could be persuaded to secure ironwood from House Forrester. Lady Marjorie might not look favorably on such an alliance, and it would infuriate Cersei.
No vidíš to, vyhrajeme všichni.
Amusing for me might prove rather dangerous for you and your house. Are you willing to risk that?
Ano.
It's a risk I'm willing to take, Lord Tyrion. Please.
You are a brave girl, aren't you? I'll consider it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I promised Sansa I would join her for dinner tonight. 3 beautiful bottles of Dornish wine await my arrival. The mere thought of them makes me thirsty already.
I hope we meet again.
Nothing would make Cersei happier. Until then, be careful. This is not the North. King's Landing can be a nest of vipers to the uninitiated.
To je pravda. Královo přístaviště je totiž plný špehů, pomstychtivých lidí, možná vrahů.
Mira, I was worried. How was it?
Taky očekávala nějaký poděl, co? Já bych se o tom nebavila, to bude asi nejlepší.
Of course not. It must have been horrible. But
To
at
bylo.
least it's over now. Lady Marjorie has spent the entire day working on seating arrangements for the wedding. Of course, you and I are seated way at the back, here with the 4th cousins and the 9th-born sons. Ah, Sir Jaime, I wouldn't mind tarnishing that white cloak of his.
Sarah!
What? It's true. And Oberyn Martell, the Red Viper.
Rudá zmije, ale vrať to zpátky, dostaneš na maléru. Docela hezký, jasně, že je docela hezký.
He is quite handsome.
And quite passionate, from what I've heard. Perhaps Lady Marjorie could make the right introductions. Who knows? We might meet our future husbands. Although, marrying a king, I can only imagine what that would be like. Would you marry Joffrey if it meant you'd become queen? He
Joffreyho?
does have a certain look about
Nikdy.
him, and he's always treated Lady Marjorie well.
I'd be willing to marry, but not Joffrey.
Well, I would marry him, Imagine the power you would have as queen of the
A představ si, to by se ti stalo, kdyby se zpravidla za Joffreyho.
Let's see, who else should we marry off? Brienne of Tarth and Tyrion Lannister. What a perfect match. Sir Bronn and...
What are you doing? Well? Sarah?
We're sorry, my lady. We were just having fun.
This is not a game. It's a battle plan. Allies and enemies can be made with every move. Yet they say it is men who are powerful. The Queen was pleased by your display, Mira.
Opravdu?
I'm just glad it's over. King's Landing can be exhausting sometimes. There's always someone to please or some perceived slight to smooth over. I fear it will only get worse when I am queen.
Once they know your true heart, the lords and ladies will have no choice but to love you.
Do you agree?
Je na čase asi... Je na čase chválit.
The lords and ladies will do their best to please you.
You learn very quickly.
Tady by si to bude pamatovat, protože hej, tak trošku urazili před královnou, takže...
I know you must fear what Lord Bolton might do to your family. I do appreciate your willingness to appease her, as difficult as it may have been.
Thank you, my lady. There's been something on my mind. Something important.
Taky řekneme to naší situaci, a požádat, jasně.
I did have a favor to ask of you in return.
Whatever you wish to say, you can say it in front of Sarah. There are no secrets between us.
It's about my family.
I trust her.
Jasně, že můžeš zůstat, proč ne?
Go on.
Mohl by moc chvíli zastavit Ramse, můžete zastavit Boltony? Ano.
I received a letter from my family. I fear my family will suffer if Ramsay is left to do as he likes. But if a raven could be sent to the Boltons to let them know House Forrester has the protection of the crown. Ramsay Snow will arrive at Ironrath within the week. I would never ask this of you if it weren't so urgent.
That is no small request, especially now. Joffrey knows only too well your family fought for the Starks, and now you would have me ask him to intervene.
Hele, Tyrion už souhlasil.
Is the
Skoro.
situation that dire?
You can't, my lady. King Joffrey won't like it. Just think how he
Děkuju, Sero.
I will forever be in your debt. My family will forever be in your debt.
I don't know, Mira. If Cersei were to find out...
Král zbožňuje, to je jediná možnost, jediná možnost. To je jediná možnost.
You're the only one who can help me. You have power over him, Lady Marjorie, as no one else does. Not even his mother. Ramsay Snow will arrive at Ironrath within the week. I would never ask this of you if it weren't so urgent.
Very well. I'll make your request, but I cannot promise anything.
Thank you, my lady.
Můžete do něj ještě nějak domluvit s Tyrionem? Tyrion by do toho určitě taky šel. Ten prohnaný trpaslík. Saving, hurá, králová cesta, vlčí les. Jsme zpátky. U Geralta? Tady se rozhodně něco děje. A ještě ti utekl kůň. Jo, to je hodně špatná situace. Je noc, utekl ti kůň a slyšíš křiky zpovzdálí. A nemáš meč. A máš poraněnou nohu. Já bych se obězil na nejbližším stromě.
Let's play a little game, shall we?
Já vím, kdo to je.
Did you know my ancestors wore the skins of their enemies as a coat?
Ten hnusák, co mučí lidi. Netuším jeho jméno, ale co se dá dělat? Mrkneme se.
Not my best
hnusák.
work, unfortunately. I suppose I have fallen
Už
out.
mě asi viděl.
But he didn't make it easy. What with all that bloody noise?
Like a drowning cat. I thought he'd never stop.
As my father likes to say, a naked man holds few secrets, but the flayed man holds none.
Pity he didn't know your father was the Warden of the North.
He does now. How much further is it to these foresters?
Ale ne.
A day, my lord. 2 at most.
What was that?
Co bylo to?
Shh, listen. There.
Kůň. Můj koník mě zachránil, možná.
Hear that?
Slyším koně.
I know I heard something.
Zůstáváme v klidu, ten kůň tam proběhne. Každou chvíli. No tak.
Never mind. We've wasted enough time already.
To je halus. Co ten chudák? Tomu asi už nebude pomoci. Kámo, jsi ještě při vědomí? O, fuj. Fuj, to je nechutný.
Lord Ethan, as I was saying, you are young. And there are those within these walls who are uncertain of your leadership. But 300 generations of Forester lords stand behind you. Lord Gerhard the Tall, who founded our house, and your grandfather, Lord Thorin the Bold, who seized back the river valley from the White Hills.
What did they call my father?
Lord Gregor the Good.
A jak budu říkat mě?
He was fair and wise.
Chtěl by být jako on.
And courageous in battle.
Proč mě sem volali?
Why
Proč mi
are
tohle
you
říkat,
telling me
ne?
this?
To help you rule, Lord Ethan. These were your father's people to lead and protect, and now they're yours. But your father did not bear this responsibility alone. He and every Forester lord before him chose one man whom they trusted above all others, the Lord Sentinel. Forester traditions demand that a new Lord Sentinel must be chosen.
Počkat, ty chceš být nový Sentinel? Na ty nemůžeš být nový Sentinel, ne?
Keep walking, you craven son of a whore. Move. Summon the Lord.
Oh,
We need his judgment.
nějaký chudák, co je za chlápka? Budeme krutí, budou nám říkat ne dobrý, ale krutý.
Who is this man?
This craven is a deserter and a thief.
Pravdu?
This house is doomed. We all
Tak to bude dezertér.
Quiet, thief. Eric was supposed to be guarding our weapons, but instead we caught him stealing them.
2 shields and 3 spears.
You stole from us.
I feared for my life. Yes, my lord. I fled. We should all flee.
It's not stealing if you're taking what's yours by right.
He speaks true.
I've a family to feed, and not two coins to rub together since Lord Gregor left us to rot here. Where's our pay? Our share of bread and wine grows smaller every day.
Leave the poor man alone!
Mercy. Go.
Lord Ethan, I know these words are hard, but they're honest. This house is falling. We'll never survive the coming winter.
Takže se přiznáváš ke zločinu? Ano, haha. Budeme krutí.
Then you admit to the crime, in front of all gathered here. I am only what this house made me. You cannot expect a man to live on loyalty alone.
You'll address him as Lord. Lord Ethan, you must decide the punishment. Lord Gregor always took a thief's fingers. 3 of them.
Now may not be the time for harsh punishment. The men are on edge as it is.
Men need to know they cannot do whatever the fuck they please. Their lord will not permit it.
We can send him to the wall.
Zabít asi nebudeme, to by bylo fakt špatný.
I will decide.
Ale co mu uděláme?
If you punish me, you'll be punishing an innocent man. It will be an injustice, my lord. Please, my lord.
Pro vyslitování poslat jej ke zdi useknout 3 prsty. Poslat jej ke zdi pro vyslitování. Jdeš ke zdi.
I sentence you to the wall, where you will join the Night's Watch. No, please, my lord.
Třeba jednoho dne pomůžeš Geredovi.